You're listening to Coupled With, the podcast that helps you take the guesswork out of feeling seen, heard, and valued in your relationship. If you've ever felt stuck in the same arguments, struggled to stay connected, or wondered how to better communicate with your partner, you're in the right place. I'm Dr. Rachel Orleck, a couples therapist and coach, and together, we're going to make relationships make sense. Let's dive in. Before we dive in, I just want to take a second to say thank you. As of last week's episode, Coupled With officially crossed over 1,000 downloads. And that number means so much more than data on a screen. It means this little corner of the internet where we talk honestly about attachment, nervous system patterns, and the real work of loving and being loved is actually reaching people who need to hear it. If you've ever shared an episode, messaged me, or just quietly listened while folding your laundry or driving home after a hard day, thank you. You're the reason this show exists. And every download represents someone choosing to understand themselves and their relationships in a deeper, more compassionate way. So here's to the first 1,000 and to everything still ahead. If this podcast has supported you in any way, it would mean the world to me if you'd share it with somebody who might need to hear it or leave a quick rating and review wherever you listen. It helps new listeners find the show and helps me keep creating the kind of content that actually makes relationships make sense again. Now, let's get into today's episode. We love to glorify the chill partner, the one who doesn't get upset, doesn't pick fights, and just goes with the flow. The one who says, it's fine, when something clearly isn't. They're the dream, right? No drama, no mess, no emotional roller coasters, just ease. But here's the problem. What we call chill is often just shut down. What looks like balance is sometimes just someone's nervous system trying not to drown. Our culture worships low maintenance. We treat emotional restraint like a skill, as if the goal of intimacy is to need less and say less. But real relationships aren't supposed to feel like customer service. They're supposed to feel like connection. The chill partner often learned early that expressing emotion was risky or inconvenient. Maybe they watched someone blow up when feelings got real, so they learned that quiet equals safe. That quiet, though, is a mask. It protects, but it also isolates. The partner who underexpresses ends up feeling unseen, even while convincing themselves they don't need much. And the partner on the other side, the one who feels, speaks, and reacts, they start to feel like the squeaky wheel, the difficult one. The dynamic becomes really self-fulfilling. The quieter one withdraws to avoid conflict, and the louder one escalates to feel connection. Neither is wrong. Both are protecting love in the only way that they know how. So today, we're pulling back the curtain on the chill partner lie, because calm isn't always peace. It's often protection. We'll talk about how emotional suppression gets misread as strength, how it quietly burns out relationships, and how avoidant patterns develop, not from a lack of love, but from too much overwhelm. This isn't about blaming the quiet one or praising the vocal ones. It's about naming what's real. Because when we stop calling suppression secure, we can finally make room for honest connection. Let's talk about what that looks like in real life. Because the chill partner dynamic doesn't start as disconnection. It actually often starts as good intentions. The partner who plays it cool believes they're helping. They think they're keeping things steady, avoiding unnecessary drama, and being the reasonable one. They pride themselves on not needing much and on keeping the peace. But underneath that composure is usually a nervous system doing backflips to stay in control. Here's how the cycle unfolds. The chill partner minimizes their emotions in order to stay safe. They tell themselves, it's not worth fighting about, or it's just going to make things worse if I say something. Their partner senses that something's off and reaches out. They ask, push, or probe. That's when things start to escalate. The more one person chases for connection, the more the other withdraws to preserve calm. The louder the protest, the quieter the retreat. It's a dance that leaves both people feeling unseen. To outsiders, the chill partner looks like the healthy one, measured and steady and mature. Meanwhile, the expressive partner gets labeled as emotional, demanding, or too intense. But that's cultural gaslighting. The chill partner's calm isn't maturity, it's management. It's a nervous system saying, don't make it worse. And their partner's emotion isn't chaos. It's desperation for connection. Two survival strategies that perfectly trigger each other until both people start doubting their own reality. I worked with a couple who lived this exact pattern. One partner felt constantly hurt and abandoned. The other shut down. The withdrawn partner avoided bringing up issues when they felt calm because they didn't want to rock the boat. They thought their restraint was keeping the peace. Meanwhile, their partner was frustrated being the only one who ever voiced concerns. And they started to worry that they were becoming too much, but also scared of an explosion down the road. When they asked their partner to share more, their partner got angry, accusing them of looking for problems. Both felt trapped between silence and eruption, unable to see that they were just protecting love in opposite ways. Avoidant attachment often hides inside this chill role. It's not that these partners don't want closeness, they do. They just get flooded by it. When intimacy feels overwhelming, they instinctively minimize their own needs and emotions to keep things even keel. It's protection, not apathy. And there's a cost. By constantly dampening their emotional signals, they cut off the very data their partner needs to feel safe. Their silence becomes a wall, and their partner starts feeling like they're talking to a closed door. Over time, this cycle teaches both people something false. The chill partner learns that withdrawal keeps things stable. The expressive partner learns that loudness keeps them noticed. But stability without honesty isn't safety, it's distance. And attention without attunement isn't connection, it's panic. One suppresses to protect the relationship, the other amplifies to save it. And both end up lonelier than before. Here's the truth. The chill partner isn't emotionally superior, they're emotionally disconnected. Their calm isn't proof of regulation, it's a sign of containment. That easygoing energy that everyone admires, it's not confidence, it's caution. Because somewhere along the way, they learned that being too emotional risked disconnection or rejection. Staying even, agreeable, and saying they were fine became their ticket to safety. And over time, they lose the connection with themselves to know anything different. So like I said, this conditioning starts early. Maybe they watch big feelings get punished or ignored. Maybe the family motto was, we don't talk about that. Or maybe love came with strings. I'll comfort you, but only if you calm down first. Eventually, the message starts to sink in. The quieter you are, the more love you get. That's not personality, that's just programming. They didn't choose detachment. They train their body to survive relationships by avoiding emotional waves. The tricky part is that this pattern often looks mature, but they're survival skills, it's not intimacy. When they're used to keeping connections smooth instead of real, they slowly erase themselves from the relationship. You can't build trust with someone who's missing from their own body. Silence doesn't equal stability. It just hides the storm until it spills out sideways. Avoidant partners do want closeness. They just get flooded when things feel uncomfortable. Their nervous system can't tell the difference between being emotionally seen and being overwhelmed. So they minimize needs, mute feelings, and convince themselves they're easier to love when they need nothing. But it's a lie that often backfires. When you disconnect to stay safe, you end up lonely in relationships, and that looks peaceful from the outside, but feels really empty on the inside. So let me reframe it. Avoidance isn't absence. It's fear dressed up like calm. This isn't about withholding. That partner is bracing themselves for a storm that they think is coming. It's protection. They're not broken. They're just out of practice being real and in touch with themselves. So when we stop getting this confused, we can finally rebuild the kind of safety that actually allows both partners to show up. Messy, emotional, and yes, fully human. When someone learns to be the chill partner, what they're really doing is managing a nervous system that gets overwhelmed by emotion, both theirs and their partner's. Their body confuses emotional intensity with danger. The moment that things get charged, their system starts to hit the brakes. From the outside, it probably looks pretty calm. Inside, it's shut down. This isn't conscious. It's an automatic survival response, and it's usually a mix of the freeze and the fawn response. In freeze, the body numbs out to avoid feeling. Thoughts go blank, emotions flatten. In fawn, the focus shifts to soothing others, appeasing and accommodating, trying to fix things, to keep connection from breaking. Both responses preserve safety. The body says, if I can keep things smooth, I won't lose this person. It's self-protection through invisibility. That's why the chill partner often says, I just don't want to fight. What they really mean is, I can't handle what fighting does to my body. This strategy doesn't exist in isolation. It links directly to a partner whose system runs the opposite way. The more one shuts down, the more the other ramps up. The more expressive partner feels the withdrawal is rejection, so they push harder to reconnect. The avoidant partner feels that pursuit as pressure, so they retreat further to survive it. It's not that they don't care. It's that their body is saying too much, too soon, too fast. This cycle isn't caused by lack of love. It's caused by mismatched nervous system pacing. One person regulates by moving toward, the other by moving away. The avoidant body protects by suppressing the emotion to reduce the intensity, but that suppression keeps them stuck in low-grade survival mode. They may look peaceful, but it's a tense kind of peace, like holding your breath and calling it calm. Over time, that quiet strain becomes exhaustion. So when we describe somebody as chill, what we're really describing is a body that's doing emotional triage and minimizing aliveness just to maintain attachment. It's not avoiding connection because it doesn't care. It's avoiding connection because it cares too much. It's bracing against the vulnerability of being seen. Genuine calm, the kind that feels grounded, not numb, can only happen once the body learns that emotion isn't a threat. It's just information. So let's talk about what it actually looks like when the chill pattern starts to soften. Because there's a huge difference between real calm and protective calm. In protective calm, the air feels thin. There's politeness, but no pulse. Conversations are smooth, but hollow. The chill partner avoids eye contact, keeps their tone steady, and maybe even says all of the right things. Yet, their energy says, don't come closer. It's not that they don't care. It's that their system still feels defense mode. Real calm feels alive. It's slower, but not sterile. There's presence in it. When someone's truly regulated, they can stay connected even when emotions run high. When I'm working with a client, I can see that moment by this big exhalation of breath. They don't rush to fix or silence the moment. They stay curious, listen, and respond. You can feel the difference instantly. The body of the listener relaxes, their shoulders drop, eyes soften. And that's how the nervous system knows that it's safe. Not because everything is peaceful, but because it's honest. I've seen this shift happen countless times. When the chill partner finally names what's happening instead of swallowing it, everything in that system starts to change. Sometimes it's small. I'm not mad, but that didn't sit right with me. Other times, it's, I thought I was fine, but I think I've been shutting down. That kind of vulnerability can feel terrifying at first, but it's where distance starts turning back into connection. For their partner, that moment is huge. The loud one finally gets proof that the quiet isn't apathy. And that's a relief. They can stop yelling across the void because finally somebody met them halfway. That softens their system too. The cycle starts losing its charge because both people are regulating through honesty instead of performance. Real intimacy always begins in those small, awkward, emotionally honest exchanges that feel risky but true. The goal isn't to become less chill or more emotional, but to be more authentic. Calm doesn't have to mean silent, and emotion doesn't have to mean chaotic. That's the sweet spot, staying present enough to feel what's happening and connected enough to share it. That is what emotional maturity actually looks like. Not perfection, but presence. So, how do you start shifting out of the chill persona without feeling like you're about to set your relationship on fire? The key isn't to suddenly become emotionally explosive. It's to build micro honesty. Emotional honesty doesn't mean spilling everything. It means saying something true before you just disappear. Think of it as learning to turn the emotional volume knob up one click at a time. Start here. When you feel yourself shutting down or wanting to say, I'm fine, pause and ask, what's 1% truer than that? Maybe it's, I'm a little overwhelmed, or I don't know what I feel yet, but something's off. Those statements aren't dramatic, they're bridges. They help your body and your partner's body stay connected, even when things are uncomfortable. You're not demanding closeness, you're inviting truth. And that's what safety actually builds on. If you're the partner on the other side, the one who tends to pursue, your work looks different. It's about tolerating the quiet without assuming rejection. When your partner says, I need a minute, try hearing, I'm trying not to shut down, instead of, I'm pulling away. Regulate your own system so they can learn to trust theirs. Their calm used to be protection, and your calm can become permission for reentry. That's how nervous systems start to sync up. If you're the chill one, remember, every time you name something small, you're retraining your nervous system to believe that expression doesn't destroy connection. You don't have to go from fine to full vulnerability overnight. Just 1 degree more real. Emotional fluency grows through repetition, not revelation. The more you show your edges without apologizing, the more you teach your body and your partner that being seen is survivable. So your takeaway today is simple. Start with honesty, not intensity. Being chill isn't bad, but being disconnected is lonely. You can stay calm and still tell the truth. Try saying, I'm not upset, but I notice myself pulling back. Or, I don't need you to fix it, I just need you to know. Those small truths rewire safety in both systems. Over time, they become the heartbeat of connection, the kind that is calm, grounded, and completely real. So the chill partner myth might sound appealing until you're actually living inside it. What looks like peace on the outside often feels like pressure on the inside. Pressure to stay composed, need less, never disrupt the balance. But real connection can't survive inside self-containment. You can't be loved for who you are if you never let anyone see it. Calm without honesty isn't safety. It's just holding back and always being prepared for the next shoe to drop. If you've been the one holding everything in, you're not broken. You're not emotionally unavailable. You're emotionally overprotected. Your system learned to equate stillness with survival. You don't need to rip out all that wiring right now. You just need to teach your body that connection doesn't mean collapse. Small truths, said gently, begin to rewire that belief. It's not about being louder, but being more true. And if you've been the loud partner in all of this, the one trying to pull someone back into the relationship, remember, their withdrawal isn't proof that they don't care. It's a sign that they're flooded and don't know how to stay present while feeling yet. The best thing you can do is regulate yourself so they don't have to disappear to find calm. That's how you stop chasing each other's survival patterns and start co-regulating instead. So as you leave this episode, remember, chill isn't the goal, it's connection. We don't need more people who are easy to be with. We need more people who are willing to be real while staying kind. That's what safety actually looks like. And if you happen to live in the state of Washington, I currently have 1 to 2 openings in my private practice for new therapy clients. If you've been wanting support to break old patterns and build more secure, connected relationships, you can learn more or inquire at www.meaningfuljourneycounseling.com. And don't worry, I'll leave it in my show notes. That's it for today's episode of Coupled With. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to hit subscribe so you never miss what's next. And if you found it helpful, please share it with a friend or leave a quick rating and review. It really helps more than you know. And if you're curious about how we might work together or want more resources to strengthen your relationship, head over to my website, www.drrachelorleck.com. You'll find free tools, podcast extras, and ways to go deeper. Thanks again for listening, and I'll see you next time.